Agents of Keyforge?
Yes, Keyforge, Pete. I switched the box. I got a bit fed up of you winning the majority of the games recently.
You won last week, stop moaning. I gave you that one.
So we've changed Keyforge. I'm hearing on the Warhammer Champions forums of all strange places that Keyforge is it at the moment.
You know
and it
what?
was voted the Outposts Game of the Year.
Ooh, well, you could check that out in our links in the description below.
The Outposts is a great little shop up in Sheffield in the UK.
Do check it out, because if you go and buy stuff from there via our link, we get a little kickback. It doesn't cost you any more, but we get a little bit. It helps support us.
Do have good discounts, good customer service. I do like the guys there, so yes, do check them out. It was their Game of the Year, so we thought we'd try it. My son, actually, I've pinched my son's copy to play. He didn't know yet, but I will put it back in the morning, so he won't ever know.
He won't ever know.
He won't ever know. Now,
the things I like about Keyforge is the fact that you buy the starter game for, was it 30 quid, something like that?
Yep.
You get 2 starter decks, and you get 4 decks.
You get the 2 decks that everybody gets, and then you get 2 new
decks.
sealed decks.
And that's the other thing I like about this game.
It's a
the fact that
game.
It's a unique game. I've never played a game like this. You buy a pack off the shelf, and it just has a random set of somehow balanced random cards.
Yeah, I mean,
I love that idea.
If you were in the situation where you were running a YouTube channel and you had to make decks every week, and that was coming quite time-consuming.
That sounds quite tiresome. I'm not going to do that kind of thing.
That would become quite time-consuming. And so this is brilliant, because you have to have the deck, and you can only use that deck. You cannot change the cards in it. You cannot draft in new cards.
Yep.
You use that deck, and that deck. Each deck has an identifier. So I am playing the demon that studies languages.
Ooh, like French. Yeah.
I think so. French. Yeah. Who'd want French from a demon? That's what I'm going to say.
And I am the awful eunuch of Kulgus.
Yeah, well,
I am pretty awful.
Yeah.
I don't know about the eunuch bit, but
you're unique.
Oh,
the awful unique
oh,
of Kulgus. Yes. Do expect terrible puns.
Yeah, they're going to
bad
be awful,
jokes.
because some of the cards, the random name generator got them into a little bit of trouble, because some of the words were a little bit on the nose, shall we say.
If you are a follower of Keyforge, of course you know all this, but we do hope we do the game justice. We're going to try and bring maybe once a month a game of Keyforge, and maybe if we can up it, we will. We have to see.
Yes, well, the more support we get, and the more people we get supporting us, the more we can do.
Exactly, and if you have joined us for the first time for this Keyforge game, we do regularly play Warhammer Underworlds. If you like Keyforge, you'll probably like Warhammer Underworlds, so you could check out our stuff there, and maybe check the game out in your FLGS.
Yes, and do check out the link below if you want to buy anything off of there, because, like I say, you get a discount from the normal RRP or whatever it's called. Yep. We get a little kickback. Everyone's happy.
That's Outpost. That's Pete's plug. He's catching up on his plugs.
There we go. Getting more plugs in.
So, thank you for that, Pete.
We are going to try and give you a bit more of an explanation of this game as we're playing it, partially because we're still learning it ourselves.
This is pretty much only our second and sort of third game. So if we do get stuff wrong, Keyforge fans, do let us know gently in the comments.
Yes.
But we hope we do the game justice, and we'll hope to learn, bring in new cards or new decks and
just
things in
realised
the future.
Just realised my mat's the wrong way round, so a little bit of digital magic and I shall revert it. There we go, look at that magic.
That was amazing, an amazing continuity. Now we're going to add a little bit of Shadespire dramatics here, or Warhammer Underworld dramatics, because Warhammer Underworld starts with a roll-off, and this we have to randomly determine who goes first.
Yep.
So we're going to do the usual roll-off. I generally lose these things.
You do.
First game.
I just realised our Keyforge watchers might not have a clue what the symbols mean on the dice.
No, they might not.
So maybe we should just get some dice and roll them instead.
I suppose so. I suppose we should. Okay.
Fine.
Where are you going to find dice from at this time of night?
I don't know, Robin. Hang on. Let me just have a. I'll just knock some dice out here. I've got a little mould. Let me just. Right, you can have 4.
Got a little mould. I told you to go and get that seed.
Here we go. Try them ones out.
Oh, okay. This might only get up to 3, Pete. That seems a bit unfair.
I know, that's
so what are we going? How are we going to do this?
Well, just roll them.
Why have you given me 4? Roll them and add them up.
Roll them, add them up, and we'll see whoever gets the highest.
Okay.
Oh, so that's
not that's a 1. Agents of Sigmar are 1.
So
should be a 0, really. 14. Thank you.
There we go. And what do I get? I get a crushing 60.
There we go. Normal services resumed. Pete wins the roll off.
For anybody who hasn't watched this before, Robin always loses the first roll.
So that means you get to go first, which means you start with 7 cards.
So I pick up 7 cards. I can only play 1 though, so we'll come on to that in a moment.
I should say before we start, in this game there are like 3. Each deck has 3 houses. Which you can play from. I'm not sure they're called houses, but I've called them houses.
Yes, I believe they are called houses.
And so I am playing the demon of the studies language, and he is untamed Dis and Brobnar.
Yes, and I have, as my awful eunuch of Kulgus, I have untamed Dis and Mars.
So fairly similar matchup there.
Yeah,
And,
but the cards can still be very different in the hand that you get.
And I'm sure there's some backstory and things to the different types, archetypes, but I haven't actually read it into it yet. But hopefully I will have done by the time this goes out.
Cool.
But it's no good to anybody watching. Okay, so Pete, you get to play first, but you can only play one card.
Can only play one card. Now, the main thing to remember about this is the first thing you have to do is you have to pick which house you're playing. Now, for me, it doesn't make too much odds.
No, although
because
I will just stop you for a second. The first thing you actually do is forge a key. That's the first thing you do in your turn. So it's Pete's first turn. Now, of course, on your first turn, you can't forge a key.
Well, if you you have cheated.
What is forging a key? Well, basically, that's the whole point of the game. These keys here, you can see they're differently coloured on that side. It's basically the first person to forge 3 is the winner. How do you forge one? You have to collect 6 ember. I'm gonna call it amber. I'm gonna go with amber.
I think it's ember.
I'm gonna go with amber.
It's got some weird little
it's a diphthong
sort of
got a diphthong.
thing.
And I don't know how it's pronounced, and I haven't watched any videos about it. So I'm gonna call it amber. And if it's ember, then do say. But if it's and then from then on, I will call it amber.
So the first step is I have to forge a key if I can, but I cannot.
You cannot.
Obviously, it's the first one. So then I have to pick a house.
You choose a house.
I choose a house.
I choose this house.
So I am going to pick Mars. And I can only play one card, so I'm going to play John Smith. Now, I'm not just picking random names. That is the name of this card, John Smith. And he's a Martian. I'm going to play him. Now, he starts exhausted, so he starts sideways like this.
But like me in the morning.
Yeah. And that's pretty much it. I can't do anything else, so I do get to go first. But as you can see, the benefits are slim at best.
Okay.
Now, we'll try and run through some of the details of the cards as we go. John Smith does have a damage and, effectively this is damage and wound characteristic. It's how much damage he does when he attacks someone, it's how many wounds he can take before he is removed, and it is 2.
Yeah. You are allowed to discard a card, but only you can only discard or
play.
And then if you did discard, you'd draw up. Or if you play, you draw up too.
And then he has a little shield here, which is also the defense characteristic, and that is if then Robin attacks me, I can obviously reduce the damage in certain situations. I'm not sure how often you get that. I haven't seen it, I think, so it might not come up very much.
You can also mulligan a hand, but I have so little idea of how to actually play the game tactically. I'm not going to do that.
I'm in the same boat as you. Now you can play as many cards as you want on your turn. It's pretty much limited to how many you have of a particular house in your hand when you pick your house. So Robin, I have played, I am done, and at the end, right at the end, everybody readies again.
Okay.
I might use some of the wrong terminology here, so if I do, apologies for that, but we're trying to show you how the game plays, not necessarily teach you the absolutely correct terminology. So after I've readied my cards, I would draw back up to 6 if I had less than 6, but as I have 7 to start with, as I won the roll-off and I get an extra 1, I am back to 6 now, so I don't draw a thing. So now it's over to you, Robin. Can you forge any keys?
I cannot forge any keys,
Good.
Pete.
First, you would be known as
You'd be pleased to know, yes. So I have to choose a house, and I am going to choose...
Pick a lovely little semi-detached out in the Cotswolds.
Exactly. I'm going to play the Rogue Ogre.
Ooh. And he obviously starts exhausted.
He starts exhausted.
Probably a long trip over here.
Exactly. And I did actually choose a house. I'm going to choose Brobnar. And I'm going to play the Rogue Ogre.
The Rogue Ogre.
Rogue Ogre. And that's all I'm going to do.
So then all of your cards are ready.
They're ready. And draw up.
So it's over to me. I obviously can't forge any keys. So now I have to decide which house I'm going to use. Okay, so I'm going to pick Dis.
Dis what?
Hey!
There it is.
Terrible joke number 1. Bing! That's going to happen a lot. So I'm going to pick the House of Dis.
Okay.
And my first card I'm going to play, and now I can't use John Smith now, effectively, because he's not Dis, he's Da. So I'm going to have to pick something else instead. I do apologise, people.
Please stay and watch.
Please don't go away. This is as good as it gets, though, I'm afraid. So the first card I'm going to play is the Gateway to Dis.
Oh.
And that destroys each creature and gains me 3 chains. So each creature, they have a slightly funky way of describing it, but each creature means every single creature on the board. So it destroys everyone and gains me 3 chains. Now chains are determined by this little thing down here. And it basically means, depending on how many you have, reduces the number of cards you can have in your hand. So I have 3 chains at the minute, so I have -1 card, so I can only have 5 at the end of my turn. And then I have other cards that I can play, so I'm also then going to play Toxin. So my opponent discards a random card from their hand.
That's only when you reap.
But obviously he's exhausted at the minute, so that doesn't happen.
No. Reaping is a really important rule point, though,
yes,
Pete.
you will see that hopefully, hopefully soon.
Yeah.
And then I'm also going to play. I'm going to play Control the Weak, which is an action. I have to choose a house on on my opponent's identity card, and he must choose from that house in his next active turn.
Okay.
So I am going to pick from you Brobnar. My theory being, you played one Brobnar card, so you don't have any more Brobnar cards, is my theory. But then I realised you also had to pick one up, so maybe you picked up another Brobnar.
Mm.
Who knows?
Who knows? I know, actually.
Well, you know, yeah, I hope you know.
So,
but I haven't really got a clue. So that is the end of my go. I don't have any more discards that I want to play, so that rotates back. I then have to pick up enough cards to draw me up to 6. But it's 5 because of my
but I
chain.
think that goes down 1 now already.
It does now, so that then drops 1 afterwards, but it's after you pick the cards, so it's important to remember you do it after. So I currently only have 5 cards in my hand.
Okay, so it's my turn.
So over to you.
Well, I'm going to choose Brobnar.
Well, you can't choose. I chose. You have to you're stuck with Brobnar. You can't make it seem like a positive
Who is
thing.
Brobnar?
I don't know.
Who is Brobnar? Okay, this is a bit of a blow, really, to have to play these, but I'm going to play Bumpsy.
Ooh. He does start exhausted.
He does start exhausted. Play, and you would lose. You would lose a
I would lose one of these shiny shinies,
yeah.
but I don't have any shiny shinies, so it doesn't matter.
I'm going to play an action card. I'm going to play Anger, which means I can play Ready and Fight with a friendly creature. So I'm going to ready old Bumpsy here. And fight with him. Now, there's 2 things happen here, Pete. First one is that this card here has a little amber sign on it.
Oh, yes.
So that means I score an amber immediately.
Oh, you know what? I forgot. My Control the Weak has an amber as well.
Okay.
But of course, the minute I got that, you then played Bumpsy, which makes me lose it.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
So I got it and then I lost it.
Yeah, so Bumpsy has a play, your opponent loses 1 amber.
Yes.
And
even though they come in exhausted, the play effect still takes
when you play.
effect.
Okay, so I do get one of these.
Boo.
And then I'm going to fight old Toxin over here. Now, in the fight, I do 5 attack strength and deal 3.
Yes.
So I kill the Toxin outright, but I do take 3 damage on the way. Which is
Toxin's dead.
Toxin is dead.
Boo.
And the anger card goes to my discard pile. And he is now exhausted because he did fight. And I'm then going to do nothing else, I think. So I'm going to turn up Bumpsy to ready it.
He readies.
And I draw 2 new cards.
Okie doke. So back over to me. So I've got nothing to ready, nothing to do. I have to pick my house because I have no ember to forge a key with. So I'm going to pick Untamed. So the first card I'm going to play is Nocturnal Maneuver. So Nocturnal Maneuver does get me an ember, and I can exhaust up to 3 creatures. So I'm going to exhaust Bumpsy there. So that means next turn he will start exhausted and you won't be able to use him to reap or do anything else. I'm then going to play the Snufflegator, possibly the most terrifying sounding creature in the world.
How did I know you were going to do that?
I know, this is shocking stuff. Unfortunately, he comes in exhausted, obviously. And then I'm going to play Cooperative Hunting, which deals 1 damage for every friendly creature I have in play. So that's just 1, because I've got the Snufflegator. That's 1 damage to Bumpsy. Bumpsy. And that's it. End of my turn. All my guys ready again. My hand gets drawn back up to 5 because of my chain, which then goes down to 1. So over to you, Robiny Roo.
Right, I am going to play Brobnar again.
Brobnar.
The Ganger Chieftain. Play, you may ready and fight with a neighbouring creature. So I'm going to ready him. He's unreadied. I'm going to ready him and fight with him. And I deal 5 damage, but you deal 4 damage. So they're both destroyed.
Dead. I'm very violent.
And I'm also going to play the Grenade Snib,
Ooh.
who, when destroyed, makes you lose 2 amber.
Yeah.
And I'm going to leave it at that. So, I'm going to ready these, draw 2 new cards.
So it's over to me, and I've got no one to ready. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick a house, and I'm going to pick Dis. And the only thing I'm going to play is Gateway to Dis.
I hate that card.
So it gets rid of... That destroys each creature. So I gain 1, 2, 3 chains, so I'm up to 4 chains again. Now I do destroy your grenade snib.
So you do lose your ember.
And I just lose it?
Yep.
Okay. fine. And I'm going to play the Terror. The Terror. That's a creature. Now, if I play it, if you have no Ember, then I gain 2 Ember, but
I do.
you do have an Ember, so that stops me from doing it. But I want to get some creatures out there. I need some creatures. So that's it. That's me done. So I'm going to draw up 2 cards, because I still only am allowed 5, and my chain goes down 1. And then he readies.
Okay, and this turn I am going to choose Untamed. I'm going to play an Ancient Bear.
Just a bear with a Zimmer frame.
I'm going to also play Nocturnal Manoeuvres, and it can exhaust up to 3 creatures. So I'm going to exhaust a creature. And I get an Ember for that, because it's a 1 Ember card. That's my turn done with, so I'm going to ready him and draw 2 new cards.
I'm going to play a bit of a gambit now for me.
Okay.
I can't do anything with the Terror because it's been exhausted. Been up all night running around. And so I'm going to pick Mars. And the first card I'm going to play is Battle Fleet. It's an action. Reveal any number of Mars cards from your hand and draw, for each card revealed, draw 1 card. So I'm going to reveal 2 cards, Soft Landing and Yixley Marauder. I'm going to pick 2 more cards up. So now I've got to see how many more Mars cards I want to play. I'm going to play Soft Landing, which is an action. Play the next creature or artifact that I play this turn enters play ready.
Ooh.
It doesn't help me so much, but I'm going to play the Yixley Marauder, who comes in ready now. When I play him, I capture 1 Ember for each friendly ready Mars creature. I don't have any friendly ready Mars creatures.
Unless he
counts
I don't know whether
himself.
he counts himself. I don't know.
Okay, so if anybody knows the answer to this one, do let us know. But as Robin has just pointed out, because he normally enters play exhausted, he wouldn't count himself. But because he's entered play ready, we're assuming here that he does count towards the capture 1 Ember for each friendly ready Mars creature.
Rules as written, as people like to say, he is a friendly ready Mars creature. So
yes, yeah. And when it says friendly, it just means any of your cards. So yeah, it's a good point.
Just he just likes you.
He's just a nice bloke. How are you doing? So I'm playing that one. So he has now captured an Ember. So he's captured an Ember, which means Robin no longer has it. And when he dies, Robin will get that Ember back. You always pick up the Ember from your opponent.
Yeah.
So, but there are cards which enable you to take Ember from your own people in certain situations.
I think so, and there are certainly cards that enable you to put your opponent's Ember on their cards. So
yes.
Then when they die, you get it.
So this is slightly less useful because you'll get it back when he's dead, but you have got to kill him first to get that back. So it does sort of stop you, like say if you had 6 to start with. But what it does mean is he gets +1 power. I get +1 power for each Ember on it. So there we go. There's +1 power.
So that means he's doing 3.
So he does 3 damage at the minute. I also forgot that my Battle Fleet has 1 little Ember on it when I play it, so I gain 1 Ember for that.
Got to remember those.
Yes, kind of like the whole reason why you're here in the first place. And the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to play an upgrade, my Biomatrix Backup.
What does that do?
So when this creature is destroyed, I can put it into my archive. So it's an upgrade, and I get 1 Ember again for it. So I have 2. And then the last thing I can do with this guy, because he is readied at the minute, is I can either attack with him, which would be suicide, because he does 5 damage and he will die, or I can reap with him. So reaping exhausts him, and I gain 1 Ember for it. Certain characters, certain cards have the ability that when you reap they do other things as well, but we'll address those as and when they come up. So that's me done. I now need to draw up 2 cards, and then my chain goes down to 2. I only get 2 cards because I'm stuck on 5 at the minute because this is -1, and then everybody readies afterwards.
Okay, I am going to choose Brobnar again.
Kind of feel like you maybe didn't shuffle your deck.
I'm going to start with Punch, deal 3 damage to a creature.
Ow!
I get an Ember for that.
Ow!
And I'm going to kill.
You're going to kill him.
Marauder.
So he uses his Biomatrix backup. He does lose it, but now he goes into my archive.
I get the captured Ember back. I'm going to then play Elomir Flamefist. I've kind of been hanging on to, but I've decided I'm going to play him. And I'm going to play Unguarded Camp For each creature you have in excess of your opponent, a friendly creature captures 1 ember. Each creature cannot capture more than 1 ember this way. I called it ember and amber in the same sentence there.
So you gain 1 for playing that card?
Yes, I gain 1 for sorry, I capture 1, but I'm going to put on the Ancient Bear, and then I gain 1
for playing the card.
And then I'm going to reap with my bear.
He already had the bear as a reapy sort.
What he has, and he's found an amber.
Creepy reapy.
And then I'm going to finish.
Okay.
So I'm ready there, and ready there.
They're ready here, they're ready there.
And I'm going to drop 3 more cards.
Okay, so it's on to me. So I'm going to, first off, not forge any keys, and step 2, I am allowed to pick up all the cards from my archive.
Oh yes.
It kind of seems a bit pointless, because you can pick them all up in any step 2. So it seems a bit superfluous to make an archive section, but I guess it protects you slightly if your opponent then plays cards, which means you discard cards from your hand that you might be holding.
Yeah, I can't remember the circumstances in which you can put cards in your archive. I can't remember if you can put things in your archive voluntarily.
I don't think you can, unless...
Okay.
It does say in the rules that card abilities are the only means by which a player is permitted to add cards to their archive. So it's only cards that will give you that ability, like the Biomatrix backup. So I'm going to pick Untamed this time round, and I'm going to play the Dew Fairy, who starts exhausted, as we've already mentioned. And I'm also going to play the action Vigour, which will heal up 3 damage from a creature. If I heal 3 damage, I gain 1 ember, but there's no healing to be done, but I do gain an ember for playing that card.
Okay. That's elusive.
Yes, the Dew Fairy has the ability Elusive, which means first time this creature is attacked each turn and no damage is dealt. And then I am going to pick up 1 card, and my chain goes down to 1.
I cheated last time, so I chose Brobnar last time and then reached with the bear. Can't get used to me only use certain cards on your thing, so I basically got to put 1 ember back. I think that's all that I did wrong. So I was just funny enough thinking, I can't attack with 1 and reap with the other. And that's really annoying. Exactly.
That's must be okay then.
That's exactly what went through my mind. My tiny mind.
It's also worth mentioning at this point, if you play another card, you can't tuck it in between these ones. It has to go on the end. However, we haven't really seen any reason for that to make a difference yet, but I'm assuming some cards will have benefits when they've got people either side.
I have cards that can do things to them adjacent cards, so I couldn't put somebody there. And I have the ones that ready them, so I couldn't put somebody there and ready the bear.
Yes. So you played the other
side. Yes, I know. But if I end up with somebody there,
possibly, yes,
potentially, yeah. I mean, I never get that many creatures out. I don't really know what the tactics in this game are, so it's a little bit tricky. I'm going to play Untamed.
Ooh,
but you didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
Okay, and I'm going to start with playing Cooperative Hunting.
Oh.
Deal 1 damage for each friendly creature in play. I may divide this damage among any number of creatures.
Yeah. So you do 2 damage.
2 damage, and I'm going to do it on 1 on each of yours, please.
Okay. Now that's not an attack. So this guy, his ability doesn't protect him from that.
No. And then I'm going to play Save the Pack.
Ooh.
Which destroys each damaged creature.
Oh, you git!
And I gain 1 chain for that.
Good.
And it is quite a potent card.
Potables.
And then I'm just going to reap with the bear.
Well, you
legally this time.
You reap what you sow.
And I've sown a bear. Which just sounds a bit odd. And then I'm going to pick up
2 cards. Only 1 card now.
Oh yes, because I've got a chain, so I can only pick up 1 card.
Now your chain does go back down to 0.
Oh yes, thank you.
Okay, so on my turn, I have no keys to forge or none such like that. So I'm going to pick a house. I'm going to pick Mars again. I'm going to play Ammonia Clouds. So 3 damage to each creature.
Ow.
So 3 damage to your Burr and 3 damage to your
Lumia Flame Fist.
And then I'm going to play after that the Ixley Marauder again. He doesn't do anything this time because I have no friendly Mars around. So he's just played. He doesn't capture anything. So that's the end of my turn. I pick 2 cards because I've still got a chain in play. And then my chain goes away.
Okay, I'm going to pick Untamed again. And I'm going to play Ritual of the Hunt, which is an artifact. So Ember gaining artifact. So I'm going to gain an Ember, so I only have 6. And I'm going to reap with the bear. Take me up to 7.
It's worth pointing out your thing should come in exhausted.
Oh yes, sorry, yes. I wasn't going to use it, so I didn't think of it. Yes.
They all come. Everything comes in exhausted apart from actions.
So this has an omni keyword on it. Now, what the omni means is that you can use it at any time with anything. So you don't have to be bound by the house.
Yes.
So the ability on this one is sacrifice Richard of the Hunt. For the remainder of the turn, you may use friendly untamed creatures. Ooh. So it would mean potentially I could attack with the bear and Brobnar if I'd powered up Brobnar.
Yes.
And I was trying to work it out when I was reading the cards. I was thinking, well, that doesn't make any sense if it was because I can use untamed creatures anyway. But omni means you can do it at any time.
Yeah.
And use those creatures. So that all now ready.
I've
and
got
that one
mine
now
should have
ready.
readied last turn.
Oh
as
yeah,
well.
and I will just say, Pete, check because I have 7.
Ooh.
I have 7
Checkmate.
Ember.
It's a bit like that whole thing in the card game. You have to knock when you got one card
It's
left.
exactly
No one
like
does
that.
it, and it
Yeah.
doesn't really make any difference. Because it's not like I'm going to turn around to you at the beginning of your next turn when you forge a king. Go, no, you didn't say check. I'm not letting you.
No, but it would be polite because you might not notice, and then
It
you
would.
might have a card which captures 2 Ember, and then you might
yeah.
get punched in the face, and you might not want to be punched in the face, so you might not do that.
That's true.
Yeah. Well, I need to draw.
Very rarely do I want to be punched. in the
I
face.
do have to draw up 2 cards.
You do have to draw 2 cards. Okay, so over to me. I, after playing Mars last turn, am now going to go over to Untamed. Because I don't seem to be able to have more than about 2 of any particular house at any time. So the first card I'm going to play is Full Moon. For the remainder of the turn, I gain 1 Ember each time I play a creature.
Ooh.
And I'm going to play the Dew Fairy. So I gain 1 Ember for that.
Dew Fairy. It's a good card.
Dew Fairy's not a bad card. I mean, they're elusive, which means the first time they're attacked in a round, they take no damage. And if I reap with them, I gain 1 Ember. Now that's 1 Ember on top of the Ember I normally gain when I reap with them. So they do 2, which isn't bad. It's a fairly good money maker. If you don't get rid of them, they could cost you. And then I'm going to keep the remainder of my cards. I'm not going to do anything because I have no cards I can do anything with. And I'm going to draw 3 now because I can finally take 3 cards.
Oh. Well, I'm actually going to enact the first step in the game. I'm going to forge a key.
I don't know if that's...
3, 4, 5, 6, and 1 left. So I've forged a key. Okay, I'm going to choose Brobnar, and I'm going to play Bumpsy here. Sorry, and you lose 1 Ember.
Get back.
I play it. I'm going to play the Mighty Javelin. Gain 1 Ember.
The Javelin is also expired.
Thank you.
Exhausted.
Thank you. And I'm going to destroy Ritual of the Hunt and enable myself to use the Ancient Bear. And so she's going to use Assault 2 and
He should be back.
Oh yeah, I'm going to use Assault 2 before this creature attacks. Deal 2 damage to the attack damage. So I think I deal the damage and don't trigger the elusive.
So yes, the elusive keyword does not stop damage from assault. It only stops damage from your power level. So that does kill the Dew Fairy. Boo.
And then...
But as you've killed him, your attack then stops at that point. Nothing else happens.
No, I'm going to do a risky reap with Alonia.
So everybody readies again? Everything readies?
Ready.
So it's on to my turn. So I've got 6 cards, a plethora of cardage here, and still nothing to play. So I'm going to go with Untamed.
Ooh.
And I'm going to play, the first card is the Hunting Witch. Every time I play another creature, I gain 1 Ember. So then I'm going to play the Dust Pixie. So I gain 1 for the Hunting Witch, and I gain 2 for playing the Dust Pixie.
Nice.
So, and I have to, I don't know what is it, I say bingo, house, rummy.
Check.
Checkmate! As I have 6 Ember ready in my hand. That is me done. I can't do anything else, so they all go back to being ready, and I have to pick up 2 new cards. So over to you, Robin.
I'm going to choose Dis. The first time I've chosen Dis, I think.
It is, yeah, I'm a bit worried now.
So I'm going to play Sacrificial Altar.
I don't like the sound of that. So it's an action.
It's an action. Purge a friendly human creature from play. Purging, I think, removes them from the game, doesn't it? If you do, play a creature from your discard pile.
Yes, purging is the one where it takes it out of the game completely, because normally all your cards go into a discard pile, which you shuffle back up once you are exhausted. A lot of games you wouldn't actually do that, but in this one you shuffle it and you start using it again, but purge removes it completely from the game and you don't get it back.
And I'm going to play a Stealer of Souls.
That doesn't sound particularly nice.
Oh, I did get an amber for placing the sacrificial altar.
Oh, yes.
That's me done.
Okay. So everything readies again. And you draw back up to 6.
Yes.
This could be the turning point in the game for me. So first thing first, I get a key.
Oh, key.
A key. One key for me. And now I'm going to play Dis.
No.
So the first card I'm going to play, if I get these in the right order, is Fear.
Oh, what does Fear do?
Fear is an action. Return an enemy creature to its owner's hand. So I'm going to get rid of the Ancient Bear, because I think that means I get that Ember.
You do.
Mine. The next thing I'm going to play is a creature. I'm going to play Shula. Now, with Shula,
If you have one amber.
if my opponent has 4 or more amber, I steal one.
Oh.
So, cough up. So another amber for me. Amber. And I gain one, because the Hunting Witch, every time I play a creature, I gain one. I'm then going to play Charette, which captures 3 ember.
That's from me. That's from me.
Yes, so that captures 3 from you and goes there. And I gain another one again for the
You play
Hunting
another
Witch.
creature?
And then I'm going to play the Terror, which I play if my opponent has no ember. I gain 2 ember. Ping, ping. And I gain another one again because of the Hunting Witch. Ping. And I'm going to say bingo, Yahtzee, whatever it is.
Oh, it's all gone pizza.
And that's the end of my turn. I'm going to say everybody readies again. And then I have to pick up 4 cards.
I'm going to play Dis, I think. So I'm not going to play Dis.
Yes.
As it turns out, because that card doesn't do what I think it does. So
You
that's
can play
all right.
that instead.
I'm going to play that. I'm going to play Ember. No, not
Okay.
Ember, because I haven't got Ember. I'm going to play Untamed instead.
Okay.
This game is going much the way our other game went,
Yeah.
where you destroyed me. I think I have to play that there. I think I have to fill in the gap. So
No,
I'm
you
gonna-
don't, because
I
when
do.
things
they
die,
slide
they
up
all
there.
go
They slide up, yes. Yeah, I slide them up
like
that
that.
way. And I'm going to play Piranha Monkeys.
Just frankly the best creature in the game.
Which-
I do have to point out that the Terror should go on the end here now.
Yeah,
Because
yes.
they all have to play in a linear
And I deal
fashion.
2 damage to each other creature.
Oh my word.
Each other creature. So I kill my own Flame Fist.
And 2 to each.
Yeah.
That's a lot of damage.
So that kills that one, and that one.
Oh yeah, good point. So they're all dead. And he takes 2. He takes 2. Yowzers. That's a lot of damage.
And I'm going to play me a bear.
Brr. I'll play a burr.
And I'm also going to give that Skirmish,
There we go.
which gives me another amber. And I'm going to draw 2 more cards.
So the first thing I do is I have to forge another key. La. So I've got 2 keys now. Oh, you're in trouble. If only I knew what I was doing, I'd be dangerous. So I'm going to pick Dis, because I have 3 Dis already in play. Now, you can play cards and reap cards and attack with cards in any order. You don't have to play them all first and then reap with any. So I have to play this in a specific order to get things right. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to attack with Charette. I'm going to attack the Piranha Monkeys. So it's 2 damage apiece, so they're both dead, and you get your 3 ember back. Not for long. I'm then going to attack with the Terror, and I'm going to attack the Stealer of Souls.
Okay.
So they're both dead as well.
And
However,
you're purged.
I get purged, so that card is my Terror is gone forever.
Yeah. And I get a glory, amber.
Glory.
I get an amber, so I'm up to 5.
Okay. And then the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to attack with Shula here on your bearer.
Okay.
So that kills us both again because it's both 5.
Okay.
And you can't use your ability because it's when
No.
you attack. So they're all dead. Everyone's dead, Dave. You're all dead, Dave. So then I'm going to use Arise! Choose a house. Return each creature from that house to my discard pile to my hand. And I gain 1 chain.
Bugger.
So my chain count comes back. But now I have to pick out all of the cards, and I think I'm going to pick Dis. Because I can play him again.
You did this to me last time.
So, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to play Shula. If my opponent has 4 or more, I steal 1. There you go. And he comes in exhausted, must remember that. I'm then going to play Charette. So I then capture 3 of your ember. You have to kill Charette to get them back. And then also going to play the Terror, which doesn't do anything because you still have an Ember in play. And I'm going to play Toxin as well. So that's the end of my go. I have 5 cards, so I can't draw any, so my chain goes back to 0. And then all of these ready. So back over to you.
I'm going to choose Dis, which possibly is what I should have done last time. So I'm going to play an Ember Imp, which means you cannot play more than 2 cards each turn.
Oh.
And I'm going to play another Ember Imp.
Oh.
And then I'm going to play Hysteria, return each creature to its owner's hand.
Ooh.
So I'll have those 3 back.
So they all go back. So you heal your Bumpsy, but you do lose your
I do, but then
Ember.
I can play them again.
You can, yes.
But before you pick all those up,
Before any of that,
yeah, I'm going to use my Omni
Yep.
to destroy Shula.
Shula is dead.
Yeah, not
So it's
purged,
not
just
purged,
destroyed.
just destroyed. So
Just
if I've got
destroyed.
something that can bring it back,
Yeah, like you already
then
have.
okay.
Yeah, and then that's all I've got. So then I'm going to ready these 2 and draw 2 cards.
It is worth pointing out I have 8 cards currently, but
Okay.
you don't have to discard any if you've
No,
got more than
you
6.
just can't
You
draw
just
up.
can't draw any.
Yeah.
So I can only play 2 cards right now because
Yeah.
of these flipping Ember Imps.
Hmm.
So I'm going to play Charette. I'm going to play Dis. Sorry, I hadn't said that. I'm going to put Charette down so it captures 3.
I have a feeling that was coming.
And I'm going to play Toxin, which does nothing right now. It's only if he reaps stuff.
Okay.
So that's me. I'm going to ready those 2, and I've got nothing else to do.
So for my turn, I'm going to choose Dis. And I'm going to play Pandemonium.
Ooh.
Each undamaged creature captures 1 Ember from its opponent, and it gives me an Ember as well because it's got an Ember on it.
So you gain 1 for playing that card,
Yeah,
and we effectively capture 1 each from each other.
yeah.
Ember everywhere. All over the floor. It takes
Yeah.
ages to get out of the carpets.
And then I'm going to reap both of my Ember Imps. I'm going to reset. I'm going to draw 1 more card.
I'm going to go to Mars this time round.
Okay.
So I'm going to play the Mind Warper. Let's do the Mind Warp again. He doesn't have anything that comes up on play, but then I'm going to play Squawker, which does get me an Ember. And I can ready a Mars creature or stun a non-Mars creature. So I'm going to ready the Mind Warper. And then I'm going to use his action, which is choose an enemy creature. It captures 1 Ember from its own side.
There's that one.
So he's quite useful. I can start to load up your guys with Ember and then kill that creature and take all the Ember. And that is my go. So that's the end of my turn. So he readies again, and I pick up 2 new cards.
It's getting too late for me to keep going on about this. I'm gonna choose Untamed.
Yep.
And I'm going to play Mimicry to start off with, which enables me to mimic one of your actions. And I'm going to do this one, the thingy of Dis.
So you're going to use Gateway to Dis.
Gateway to Dis.
So everyone's dead.
Everyone's dead. So those 3 go to you, and these 4 go to 5.
5 go to you. And you gain 3 chains.
You do gain 3 chains, which is the slight bind of this situation.
And you're up to 5 Ember?
6.
6 Ember. So you've got to say ding dong.
I will do when I'm finished yet. I'm
Oh,
going to play.
and your Ember Imps are dead as
the
well.
Ember Imps are dead. They go in there, which again might be a mistake. I'm going to play a Ritual of the Hunt, which gives me another Ember.
Nice.
And I'm going to play the Dust Pixie, which gives me another 2.
Wow.
And then I'm going to play Bear Flute. I can fully heal an Ancient Bear. If there are no Ancient Bears in play, search your deck and discard pile and put each Ancient Bear from them into your hand. If you do, shuffle your discard pile into your deck.
And obviously the Ancient Bear has now been played as well. Nice.
And I have enough glory to make a key next turn.
So I'm going to pick Mars this time. I'm going to play the Felix the Disintegrator, who's a Martian soldier. He doesn't do anything on play, but he is elusive.
Okay.
And I'm going to play the Biometrics Backup on him.
Ooh.
Which means if you destroy him, he goes into my archive. And I gain a Ember for playing that upgrade.
Oh yes, we're up to
At
5.
the end of my turn, he readies again, and I have to pick 2 new cards. So you have to forge a key.
You're going to forge a key. Now I'm going to choose Brobnar
Blobnar.
in my turn. I'm going to play these 2. 1,
2 that you got.
oh no, and I've played it, so you lose 1 amber.
So I lose 1 Amber for Bumpsy, and the other one is Fire spitter?
Yeah,
Fire spitter?
Fire spitter.
He just does damage
I'm actually
before
going to put
a
one
fight.
either side, actually, not next to each other. And I'm going to choose Ritual of the Hunt.
Ooh. What's that do?
Basically, I'm going to destroy it rather, sacrifice it. For the remainder of my turn, I can use friendly untamed creatures.
Ooh.
So I'm going to do that. So I think I'm going to risk. I'm actually going to attack him with the Ancient Bear.
Okay.
He's Assault 2, so it
kills
ignores
him.
the elusive.
Yep.
It kills him, and then the dust creature, the dust pixie, sorry, is going to reap for me. Get one more.
Another one more.
Yes.
Okay.
And I've got 3 cards in my hand. I've changed, so I'm going to pick up 2. Take that down and pick up 2 more.
Okay, so it's over to me. I'm going to play with this, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to play Charette.
Oh!
So I'm going to steal your 3 ember.
Don't like that card.
It's a real pain in the arse.
Yeah.
I'm then going to play the Terror. Play if my opponent has no ember, I gain 2. And then just for poops and laughters after that, I'm also going to play Key Hammer. If your opponent forged a key in their previous turn, unforge it and your opponent gains 6 ember.
Don't like you.
So you gain 6 ember back.
2.
I gain 1 for playing that ability. I have 7 ember. Not sure what I have to do now. I have to say zip zap zippity boop boops. And then that's me done. So these both ready. And I pick up 3 cards. I only have 2, so I have to pick up 2, and then I have to shuffle my deck.
It's going to be over fairly quickly. I'm going to forge my second key. I can't stop you. I'm going to choose this. I'm going to play Shula. And capture 1.
No!
Or steal 1. Rather not capture it, steal it. And I'm going to play Stealer of Souls.
No!
I can't do it. They both come in like that. I can't do anything with Stealer of Souls, unfortunately.
And you've got no other disc creatures in play.
And I have no other disc creatures in play, so I can't do anything else. Can't do anything else at all. So I lose one of these, but I'll draw 2 more.
So we come back round to me.
Yeah.
And I've got 6, so I forge a key. Blah!
Well played.
I have literally no idea how I won that.
Well, I think because you're a better card.
I think this is the second game we played with these decks. I think this deck has a stronger set of discards in it.
Yeah, I didn't draw very many today. I mean, guys who play this game a lot may have... I may be able to see what I'm doing wrong. But my deck doesn't seem to have very many synergies. Whereas you, in both games we've played, you've turned the game by having...
If you can get a handful of discards, you can... I find that if you can either get a handful of untamed cards or a handful of discards, you can either, with discards, absolutely destroy any ember your opponent's built up. And if you've got a handful of untamed cards, or at least in this deck, you can churn out loads and loads of ember.
Yeah, and you see, I don't seem to have that. I have got a Dust Pixie, which gives me 2. But the Ancient Bear, he doesn't give very much.
What does the Ancient Bear do?
It's Assault 2, which is quite good. Well, I'm sure I didn't play it its most effectively. Like my Sacrificial Altar, for example, if I purge a friendly human creature, well, I'm 95% sure, and I'll just go through and double check that I don't have any goblin.
So that is part of your problem. And I guess this is one of the issues you might have
Beast.
with random decks, is that you might get
So that
useless
card
cards.
is useless. Apart from the fact it gives me 1 amber when I play it.
It gives you an ember when you play
It's
it.
useless.
But yes, there's no
Unless
point
there's
in
somewhere, but I haven't got a way of capturing your cards. Unless there's some way of capturing cards, it doesn't matter because I haven't got it. So it's useless.
Yeah, that is, and that is the issue with random decks, is you could end up with a deck that's just worse. Now, I'm somewhere I read, and people can correct me if I'm wrong, but I read somewhere that, because I wondered how can this game be a competitive game when you could just literally be lucky enough to buy a better deck.
Yeah.
And I was reading somewhere online that there are certain decks that have come out that people are selling online for over £100 because it's like the best deck combo you can get. And I wondered, how can that be competitive if you're just luckier that you've got and I think that this is a better deck than that one. How
Seems
can
to
it
be. I mean, it may be that I don't know how to play. I don't really understand how to play Brobnar.
I think because all the Brobnar cards are just doing damage, aren't they?
But it's largely useless.
Well, it just means instead of going for lots of reaping, you just sit there and you just want to do tons of damage instead.
But you can't get any amber that way.
No, true, but I guess you just want to try and kill your opponent, kill as many of your opponent's cards off as you can.
Because the way combat works is you do your first attack, and then although they're quite tough, they normally take 2 or 3 damage, and then they're within one shot. They're within a shooting distance of your guys. Especially when you've got discards, which just put them all in the discard in the thingy pile as well.
Yeah, I mean the disc one, it's a bit of a double-edged sword because if your opponent hasn't got anything out, then you can't really play it at all. It is tricky. I'm not really sure how. I think Brognar's just a keep taking out your opponent's card sort of deck, but at the same time, I just think I think that deck's just missing some synergies.
I haven't found any synergy, and so I mean, most of the time it's neck and neck. But then both games we've played, you've had a turn where you've scored about 11 gazillion glory.
Approximately. Yeah, we've counted it to an approximation.
And then I haven't been able to come back from that.
Yeah,
and it's that, and then you did it. I think you did it twice today. You scored a load, and then you kept sucking mine out.
Yes, I did, and I think
which under different circumstances I might enjoy,
but not in this card. Yeah, I do think because this deck has 2 of the discards that clear the board off, which are really handy because if you're starting to really do badly, you can just go bang reset.
Yeah.
And it just
Shroomer or whatever he's called is good. The one that takes one of my glory when
Chirette.
Chirette's okay.
Chirette's an irritating one because it stops you from build. It just takes 3 away.
But she's not that tough.
Shula takes 1 if you've got 4.
Yeah, is really horrible because I find it quite difficult to build up Ember, and so. You taking 1 is quite significant.
It could be that this deck is just much better at taking out that deck.
Well, it could be, yeah.
And if we play some of the others, because we have got
other decks, yeah.
It might be that.
But I don't want to be sour about it because I genuinely don't know whether, or maybe that I'm doing something wrong.
But I did read a thing online. Which
said I was shit.
yeah. I mean, it's there too. It might or might not be a blog that I wrote. But
and that's all it said.
And that's the only post on it. But I did read somewhere where they said that in competitive games, because I was thinking, how could it be competitive if you just buy a better deck? If you're just lucky enough. But I think somebody mentioned online that if you play competitively, you play best of 3s. So, and then you swap the deck. So I would play you, then you would play me, and we'd swap decks the second time around. But even then,
you'd win 2.
If your deck's better, you're going to win 2 out of 3.
Yeah.
I guess it's just I don't know how it can be competitive. I do like the game in that you can just buy a deck and play. I
think it's fun to play. I think we should get some more decks and play them. And
I definitely think
if we get half a dozen decks, that gives us quite a number of combinations.
It gives us like So at the minute, the Awful Eunuch of Kulgus, I think, is anathema to.
We could have a little league.
We could, yes, we have a little thing. We have a little thing going. We'll have to because I think if I played with your deck and you played with this one, sorry, people. Sorry. I think if
get off.
I think if we swapped. And then we played the other way around, I think you'd beat me. Because I just think that this deck's better at taking that deck out. I just think it's got better cards in it. I think we need to play match-offs of each deck against each other with best of 3 games. I
think so. I don't know if we're ever going to get to do that time-wise.
That's approximately 1 billion matches. So,
but I think we could definitely have. If we don't do best of 3, we can definitely have one-offs and just see how it goes, and then maybe build up a catalogue of, of games. I think we could, because I play best of 3s.
I presume that the Awful Eunuch of Kulgus, this isn't the only deck, and that there are multiple, all of the same cards in. But there's several hundred prints of the Awful Eunuch deck.
No, I don't think so.
You reckon every single deck?
In theory, there's meant to be. I mean, it might only be 1 card different.
I mean, there was something like 4 trillion.
Yeah, I think every deck is meant to be different. I mean, one card.
Yeah, that's true.
There could be a deck out here that has, instead of that artifact I can't use, has a brilliant card, which makes the whole thing amazing.
Yes, and you're just unlucky. And that is the only downside to this game. You could just buy a poop deck. And
but then
you've got to buy the rest of the boat to put it on. But you could just buy. This is what we do a lot, people. I'm sorry. You could just end up buying a rubbish deck that isn't as good as other decks out there, and that's just the way the game goes. It's just unfortunate. I mean, if you want to play this with your kids, I think that anybody who's like 10 years and up could possibly play this game.
I reckon so. There's a little bit of reading in the up front, but I don't think
not too much.
And there's no deck building, so they've got none of that. Although actually, I think youngsters are better at deck building, so they've got more time.
Yeah, they do. That is true. That is true. But at the same time, I think that this game could be good if you want to play it with your kids, because if you find that you have the awful eunuch deck and your kids have the worst deck, then you swap them.
Yes.
And then you play with the worst deck, and then you're playing at a handicap without them really noticing.
Yeah.
And they get to win games, which, you know, I find that is key with children. Is
Yes.
they've got to win enough games to keep their interest,
right.
because if you keep beating them, they just stop playing it.
I've just realised while you were talking there, I need to scan these before you make this
You
video
do.
live.
Scan them.
I might do it now.
You can't scan them now, because Robin's just scanning them. It's live scanning.
Live scanning. No,
It does have an
I'll
app.
do that off camera.
It does have an app which you can scan these decks into. It doesn't
Yes.
do a lot at this stage apart from record the decks, but I think at some point in the future you can actually record who you play against, and you can, and it, I guess, complete conjecture and making stuff up on the fly, but I presume it will record how you do against other decks and stuff like
maybe,
that.
yeah. People are playing online, aren't they? Is that through a different system? I have seen people playing online on the Facebook group. I mean, literally joined the Facebook group today, so
I didn't know you could play online.
I've seen people. It looks like they're playing online, unless they're doing some sort of snazzy card. Doesn't think they are, and I think you must be able to play online some way or other.
Yeah, interesting. We'll have to look into that one, and maybe we'll have some links in the description below to tell you what that's all about.
Yes, well, thank you for that, Pete.
But that is Keyforge. Hope you enjoyed that video, and hopefully it taught you enough about the game that you are intrigued and wish to continue further. And if you do check out in the description below, because there is a link to a store which you can buy this game from.
Yes, and hopefully we'll have another game of this in a couple of weeks, 3 or 4 weeks time, and we'll play different decks.
Yes, I think we'll play some new ones, and hopefully we can get this on the channel as a bit of a regular thing, because I think it will be a fun little side venture.
Yeah, and there's plenty of you Keyforgers out there, so if you are a Keyforge player and you want to see more things like this, and you've got any suggestions about how to improve it, like maybe get different players, then
or presentation. I mean, we are complete noobs to this. We've applied a lot of our Shadespire knowledge to how we've displayed this, and maybe that's not the best way of doing it, so let us know if there's a better way.
Yeah, let us know, and let us know any tactics and things that we should be looking for, because at the moment we are complete novices.
Yes, and as Robin pointed out at the beginning of the video, if we have got anything wrong that we didn't correct later on, then do let us know in the comments below.
Absolutely.
But be kind, because this is literally, I think, my second game.
So your second and my third, I think. So yeah. So thanks for that, guys. We are the agents of Sigmar,
and hopefully we shall see you soon.
Bye.